This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. It's great to have you with us. The Grand Bahama Port Authority says despite the current slowdown in the economy, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. In this report, a top executive outlines a number of major projects set to come on stream within the next 12 months. The port's president says these new initiatives will revitalize the local economy and provide hundreds of jobs for residents. Shashina Roll has our top story.
Well, Grand Bahama's economy has been ailing for some time now. Officials at the Grand Bahama Port Authority say they are optimistic that a turnaround is on the horizon. Port President Ian Roll says he, along with other officials, visited the site of 3 major projects that are on tap for Grand Bahama, which will provide hundreds of jobs for residents. Among the new initiatives is a call center. He says the port was working on this project for a year, and at least 100 persons will be employed during the first phase and 600 in a few years.
A very experienced gentleman in the call center business who has his operation in Jamaica. I basically was courting him for a while now, and he sees the benefits of being here in Freeport. It's near shore, meaning very close to the North American market. And although people would say that our labor costs are high, we have other advantages, such as the concessions offered under the Hawkesbury Creek Agreement, as well as our technology. The technology that's in place on this island is cheaper than you can find in most areas in this region. And so I think it's going to be a very significant project for this island in terms of job creation.
The old home center was once in a dilapidated state, but the port executive says a ship handling service will soon occupy the vacant lot. He says local businessman Jimmy Cafferata expects to occupy the building by the end of November.
He will be working hand in hand with the shipyard and ship care facility, a number of clients that come in to get their vessels repaired, etc. He will house all of the materials and parts and store it for them, and so as they use it, then they draw down on the inventory that he would keep in his huge warehouse.
The Waterworld Bowling Center was forced to close its doors back in 2010 due to a substantial Supreme Court judgment against Waterworld Enterprises Limited. But now Roll says that area will soon breathe new life.
We're bringing the old bowling alley site back up and bringing some life into that area. There's a medical device manufacturing company that's going to be situated in that facility. And then we also visited the medical tourism site in the old CIBC building. No, the current CIBC building. The company is called Okeanos. That's another project we've been working on for over a year now, and significant construction work is actually going on as we speak.
The port president says he is optimistic that Grand Bahama is about to boom, and he leaves this message for residents.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority, we are out there working, and the fruits of our labor are being seen at this time, and over the next few months there's going to be more good news for the island. And so I just ask everybody to remain very positive, and basically those who have the entrepreneurial spirit to get their thoughts and start your businesses now rather than later.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Sheena. The BEST Commission, the Ministry of Environment and Housing, and the National Chemicals Advisory Committee promoting the safe management of chemicals. The initiative was officially launched on Grand Bahama today during a workshop at the Grand Lucayan Resort. Assistant Director at the Department of Environmental Health, Dwayne Curtis, says officials want to ensure that everyone is aware of how to manage chemicals from production to use to disposal in a manner that is safe for human health and the environment. He says Grand Bahama is of particular focus because of its heavy industrial sector.
Because of the amount of chemicals that come through the container port, that it's a strategic point to, well, there's also a risk, because with the current global terrorism activities, this can be a weak link. So we cannot afford to have any part of the Bahamas being the weak link globally. So what we want to be doing is having the Bahamas be as strong as anywhere else in the world with regard to the safe use, the safe transport of chemicals.
Director of the Basel Convention Regional Center, Dr. Ahmad Khan, was the featured speaker at the workshop.
The Basel Convention Regional Center manages the regional perspective on waste and chemicals. My role in the workshop over the last 2 days, day before yesterday and today, is to provide a regional perspective on how waste and chemicals are managed internationally. I am essentially providing technical support to the BEST Commission and PAHO as they help shape the Bahamian national agenda on waste and chemicals.
In other news, the Bahamas Educators Managerial Union, the bargaining agent for educational managers in public schools, weighing in on the recent attack on the principal of the Jack Hewitt High School. President Charles Walgoose, in a press statement, commended the quick response taken by Principal Yvonne Ward and advises other managerial colleagues to do the same if they are similarly accosted in the execution of their duties. He says the union applauds the quick action of the police and legal system in pressing charges against the parent responsible for the attack. Walgoose is commending security teams at public schools, including on-campus police officers, for continuing to take the necessary actions in protecting all persons on school campuses, especially educators. The union leader says no parent or individual should feel that they have the right to assault anyone on or off school campuses. He is urging adults, especially parents, to conduct themselves responsibly at all times while in full view of our nation's children. He believes this incident brings to light the dangers inherent in the role of school administrators while performing their managerial duties. He is calling on the government to fulfill the promise to commence negotiations on the collective bargaining agreement, which he says includes provisions for on-campus safety of members. Yesterday, the parent, 34-year-old Latoya Denise Williams, pleaded guilty to assaulting the school's principal. She will spend the next 12 months behind bars. PTC hit by bandits once again. According to a release, copper was stolen from the Midshipman Road area and is affecting landline and mobile services in Fortune Key, Blockade Drive, Lucayan Towers, Arden Forest, and other areas in Lucaya. PTC says its engineers are working to restore services. Meantime, police have launched an investigation into the missing copper. Now, this is the second incident impacting telecommunications services this week. On Monday, a damaged underwater cable caused a disruption in international calls and internet service. BTC says services were restored using alternative routes within the BTC network. BTC officials say they are currently in the process of requesting a cable ship to carry out the repairs to the damaged cable. On Wednesday, police armed with a search warrant went to a house in the Churchill Drive area and discovered an AK-47 rifle with 2 magazines and 49 rounds of ammunition, along with a black Glock pistol. And tonight, police are issuing an all-points bulletin for the man believed to be responsible. Police are seeking the public's assistance in locating 32-year-old Henrique Jr. Francois of Churchill Drive. Police say he is wanted for unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Francois is of brown complexion, brown eyes, between 170 and 190 pounds, and stands about 5 feet 7 inches tall and 5 feet 10 inches in height. Police say if you have any information on the whereabouts of Henrique Jr. Francois, you should call 352-1919, 351-9111, 911, or the nearest police station. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition is coming right back.